right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Warmer and increasingly muggy weather leads to better chances of showers and a few storms. How that may impact your Mother's Day plans.
Transgender rights restricted.
This is clearly done for political reasons.
I see this as an issue to protect young children.
Tonight, reaction from both sides as new rules on trans health care and sports are just a signature away from becoming law in Missouri. And our top story tonight, a couple accused of firing shots on Cherokee Street.
It was terrifying. She caused chaos.
Police say they caught one of them. Tonight, questions on why Kim Gardner's office refuses to file charges.
Tonight, people along Cherokee Street, they're angry. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush, and tonight our Robert Townsend spent hours looking for reaction to the circuit attorney's much talked about decision. And he joins us live from outside St. Louis Police Headquarters downtown. Robert.
Mike, police thought surveillance photos were enough evidence to get charges against that suspected shooter. Well, today we learned that was not the case. One business owner is among those. Furious tonight.
That was the most terrifying thing ever.
It was a night of terror for Cherokee business owner Brittany Morris, her staff, volunteers, and customers.
It was terrifying. I'm still not okay.
St. Louis police say around 7:30 Saturday night, gunshots rang out during a Cinco de Mayo festival. Morris's security cameras caught the chaos on video.
I just heard, "Move, get down, get down."
She says dozens of festival goers ran for their lives right inside her shop.
We had people who ran out our basement, people who ran out our back door, people who were hiding here.
Monday, St. Louis police released surveillance photos of a woman and a man they believe are responsible for the shooting. Wednesday morning, police said they arrested the female suspect. The department filed for first-degree assault and armed criminal action charges. But the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office refused to charge the woman, citing lack of evidence, and the victim refuses to assist.
Why would you do that? She caused chaos. She caused uproar.
This chaos came less than 24 hours after another shooting on Cherokee Street that left 2 people dead and Morris's front window shot out. She can't believe the female suspect is no longer in custody.
I think that's absolutely terrible. We have to understand, what message are we sending to the public? Like, you guys are literally sending her the message that she's the big bad wolf.
Prosecutors' decision not to file charges today comes less than a week after an embattled Kim Gardner announced she's resigning on June 1st.
The victim may not want to prosecute. That doesn't matter. I think what's really going on is this circuit attorney's office is probably in some disarray.
Complete big disappointment.
Now, police say they have identified the male suspect you see in this security image. Again, tonight they're still looking for him. As for Gardner's office, they tell us they are working closely with police on this ongoing investigation and can't comment any further. Live downtown, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Missouri Governor Mike Parson is now taking applications for a new top prosecutor in St. Louis. The qualifications include record of fair and just application of state and local law, strong managerial experience, and a member of the St. Louis community. The application process will close May 15th. A new circuit attorney will take over June 1st, and they will serve the remainder of Kim Gardner's term through the end of 2024. Qualified candidates can apply online, and we do have a link on our website, ksdk.com.
A nice, comfortable night in St. Louis, but that's good old St. Louis heat and humidity. It's coming back, and so are our chances of storms. Let's get to our Weather First Chief Meteorologist, Scott Connell.
Well, you know, we are going to be bringing back that moisture. Some of us saw some showers today. There were a few around the metro area. Most of what we saw was south and southwest of St. Louis as you go down into the very rural areas of southeast Missouri and eastern portions of the Ozarks. You're still looking at a few showers here as you get down from Piedmont up towards Centerville and back down towards Ellington. That's part of this whole large system that's circulating down to our south. Now, it tends to weaken a bit when you lose the heat of the day, and that's what we're seeing right now. But as we head into tomorrow, that big plume of moisture slides overhead. That means showers will return on Thursday. It's not an all-day rain. There may be a few rumbles of thunder, but severe weather is unlikely. and it will remain unsettled right into this weekend. We'll see in a few minutes talking about Mother's Day weekend and why the chance of showers and thunderstorms is still in the forecast on Mother's Day.
Tonight, a 15-year-old boy is being charged as an adult in a violent home invasion in O'Fallon, Missouri. It happened back in January in the Wing Haven subdivision. Prosecutors say the teen and 3 others broke into a home, assaulted and shot the homeowner before stealing his car and money. Police arrested the group after a pursuit. An 18-year-old was also arrested and charged with robbery and assault charges. The 15-year-old is charged as an accessory. 2 other teens remain in juvenile custody.
Tonight, the Missouri State Highway Patrol is searching for the driver who shot at another car, causing a crash in St. Charles County. It happened just after 8:30 this morning on westbound 70 near Route A in Wentzville. The victim told investigators someone in a black Chevy Tahoe fired a shot at him, causing him to crash his green Cavalier into the median. The driver was not hit by the gunfire, but did suffer cuts from broken glass. The Tahoe took off. Troopers are asking for witnesses to come forward. Tonight, 2 bills that restrict transgender rights for Missouri kids is headed to Governor Mike Parson's desk, and he says he will sign them. One requires athletes to compete on sports teams aligned with their sex assigned at birth.
The other would ban transgender health care for children under the age of 18. Our Laura Barczewski is here to explain what this means for young people seeking gender-affirming care. Laura.
Mike and Ann, sponsors and supporters of this legislation say they are trying to protect children from making irreversible decisions. But parents and organizations supporting transgender children say they're actually doing the opposite.
Senate Bill 49 prevents new transgender patients who are under the age of 18 from seeking out gender-affirming care for the next 4 years.
They are not allowed to, temporarily pause the changes in their body so that they can have that time to really understand who they are.
Teens and kids who are already on a treatment plan have nothing to worry about for now, but those who want to start treatment are going to have to leave the state. Mike Walk has a transgender teen, and he's grateful they started her therapies years ago.
We're grateful for our kid that we get to stay here, that she gets to finish high school with all the friends that she's made and the teachers and administrators that she knows. So there's that. And we can hope still for a victory in the courts.
Senator Mike Moon, the sponsor of the bill, says, quote, this bill prohibits the chemical mutation and physical castration of minors. Other supporters say they have one goal in mind.
I don't see this as an LGBTQ issue. I see this as an issue to protect young children.
Governor Mike Parsons says, quote, all children, regardless of their gender or orientation, are invaluable and should not be subjected to potentially irreversible surgeries and treatments prior to adulthood. But those who are opposed say this bill is harmful.
With legislation like this, it's purely done for political reasons. There's often a bad aftermath for a lot of people.
Robert Fisher with Promo says people are already experiencing the negative effects of this legislation.
Just discussion of these bills alone throughout the 5-month session is damaging to youth's mental health. It increases their risk to suicide, and it increases their overall anxiety about the fact that people are debating whether or not they even exist.
Walk says it's upsetting that other children might not be able to have the same experience his daughter has in being her true self.
Her mental state is far, far better since she began taking the hormones, and she feels good. It's wonderful to see.
It's important to note this also impacts adults on Medicaid, which will no longer cover gender-affirming care in the state. Again, the governor says he'll sign this bill and the sports one as well. Both will go into effect on August 28th.
Tonight, Missouri's restrictions on transgender people is leading to a vacancy on Columbia's school board.
As a family, we have made the difficult but necessary decision that Missouri is no longer a safe place for us.
Catherine Sasser made that tearful public resignation on Monday night. Tonight, the board accepted it. Sasser, the mother of a transgender child, says her family is moving out of the state.
Tonight, there is still time to give on this Give STL Day.
Right now, organizations are trying to get a big boost from people all across our region who are showing their financial support. 5 on your side's Brent Solomon is live downtown with a closer look at how the effort's going today. Brent.
All right, $2.8 million. That's how much money St. Louisans have donated to this big effort. And I tell you what, this is going to nonprofits to help them stay afloat. One of the groups receiving support today, Annie Malone. Just about everyone immediately connects the group with the annual May Day parade, which is coming up, by the way, on May 21st. But there's so much more to the group. It works to meet the needs of the entire family, especially those going through a crisis or experiencing hardships. The CEO of that organization explains it well.
The holistic model and approach when we go from a crisis center with kids to a parent advocacy program and helping parents who are at risk of getting their kids taken and those that are fighting to get their kids back from the system, then also having an education component of therapeutic school and also having a teen drug abuse and prevention to meet that need.
All right, so happening right now is what Give STL Day calls the Power Hour. That means donations made to groups between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. places those groups into a pool that will make them eligible to receive a piece of a $20,000 prize. So there's still plenty time left. Reporting live tonight, Brent Solomon, back to you.
Normally, you'd only have a couple more hours to donate, but because it's the 10th anniversary of Give STL today, the St. Louis Community Foundation is adding an extra 10 hours of giving. You now have until 10 a.m. tomorrow to contribute as little as $10 to any of your favorite causes. Another Power Hour will happen at 9 in the morning, and all donations are tax deductible. Simply text GIVE to 314-425-5355 or go to ksdk.com/give to learn more.
Emergency over. Tonight, a major milestone in the COVID pandemic. We verify the impact it will have on your health care. Flowers for mom that won't let the money in your wallet wilt.
So there are lots of options at every price range.
Tonight, we're helping you make ends meet this Mother's Day.
Moisture's on the increase, and a series of disturbances will increase our rain chances over the next few days. How long this active pattern is expected to hang around.
Tonight, border cities are bracing for a surge of immigrants. This as the COVID-era policy, which allowed the U.S. to quickly expel migrants at the border, expires tomorrow.
We are already seeing high numbers of encounters in certain sectors. This places an incredible strain on our personnel.
The Biden administration says it has plans in place to address the increase. This includes imposing tougher penalties for any illegal crossings and deploying additional troops and contractors to help support Border Patrol agents.
Tomorrow, another COVID-era policy comes to an end when the nation's public health emergency expires. Cases are down and more restrictions and mandates like masks and vaccines have been lifted. So you might be wondering, what does this all mean for you and your health insurance moving forward? Brandon Lewis from our Verify team has the answers.
After more than 3 years, the COVID-19 public health emergency is ending. So using these sources, we're answering some of your most common questions about what's changing. First, are at-home tests from the federal government still free? We verified that the government will no longer send you free kits through the Postal Service. And unless you're on Medicaid, insurance companies won't have to cover COVID-19 tests either. Some states and communities will continue giving away free tests. Next, will COVID-19 vaccines remain free? We verified that, yes, COVID-19 vaccines will remain free until the national supply runs out. It's expected to last through the summer. Once that happens, vaccines will remain free for the majority of people on private and public insurance. Finally, you may remember there were a lot of vaccine mandates during the pandemic. Do federal employees and contractors need to be vaccinated? We verified that no. After May 11th, federal employees and contractors are no longer required to get vaccinated. Private employers are still free to make their own rules about whether their workers need to be vaccinated. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
What would you like for us to verify? Send an email, verify@ksdk.com. St. Charles residents will have one less pool option this summer. Today, the city's Parks and Rec Department announced the permanent closure of the McNair aquatic facility. Leaders say infrastructure issues are too costly to repair. Discussions are now underway for a new amenity to the park. The Blanchette and Wapple horse pools will continue to operate.
Mother's Day is just 4 days away, and flowers are definitely a go-to gift for mom.
If you're on a budget, you may think finding that perfect bouquet would be a challenge. Our Michelle Lee shows us that's not the case in tonight's Making Ends Meet.
Near the corner of California and LaSalle,
And we are on a street with lots of other florists. I mean, this is Flower Central for St. Louis.
Marshall Washington mills through Walter Knoll's greenhouse on a Mother's Day mission.
I'm actually out looking for flowers for my mom, my grandma, and my grandma-in-law.
She's walking through hanging baskets, begonias, and butterfly bushes.
The colors. That's important to me, the colors.
And she's stumped.
It's the smell of the flowers gets me.
Marshall wants the perfect flowers for the perfect price.
Saving money, yes, that's a big thing.
Mother's Day is second only to Valentine's Day when it comes to buying flowers. $35 billion are spent on mom, with a big portion going to bouquets. And while they're absolutely worth it, Chuck Knoll says there are choices on Flower Row that won't break the bank.
This is a growing plant, which you can have, or a cut flower. God makes them. All we do is cut them and put them in water. So there are lots of options at every price range.
Some are annuals that only last a season. Others are perennials that blossom year after year.
And that's certainly a fun thing to do, and the plants are a great value for that.
Will this be all for you? Yes. Okay. Actually, you get more for your money instead of going to like the other store and pay like $16 for one flower. You can come here and get a wholesale of them for $16.
And after a little searching, the perfect Mother's Day gift for just the right price.
They're beautiful.
There are lots of great gifts that don't cost much or anything at all. For example, in Belleville, check out the Mother's Day treat from Eckert's. If you can get out to the farm, you can have a nice day for free. Plus, moms even get a free strawberry sundae. And if you really want to give something to a mom, give her the gift of time. It is priceless. Back to you.
I think that was Michelle's nice way, the time, by saying silence, because that is free. And all my friends have been saying, I just want to be left alone for a 4-hour, 5-hour period. Maybe.
That would be a nice present.
Soundproof
for
room.
mom.
There are a lot of demands on moms.
Yes.
You know, and it's just like never ending, and mom's always there. So
give her some silence.
That's right.
Leave the house and leave her in it.
Hint, hint, Drew.
I'm telling you,
Ann's
that's what
husband.
I'm hearing this year from all my buddies. All right, take it away, Scott.
I totally understand. And you know what? You take the umbrella, leave mom at home. You take the umbrella and go out in the rain. All right, so it's not going to rain all day Mother's Day. In fact, it's not going to rain all day for the next 4 days, but that chance is there. We had a few showers around St. Louis early this morning, and then this afternoon we bubbled up a couple of showers and thunderstorms down to the southwest here over this very hilly terrain, pretty terrain down to the southwest of St. Louis. And we still have a little bit of moisture trying to work in. It's coming out of Arkansas, but that lead band associated with the system that's rotating here down to our south, that whole upper low is going to work over us. There's another one spinning out here over the Intermountain region. That gave Denver tonight some intense hailstorms, especially on the east side of Denver. But then we get back close to home, and we're just looking at the clouds around St. Louis. We're still in the 70s. Temperatures are not going to drop all that quickly through the remainder of the night because the clouds have rolled into St. Louis. 74 right now. The air is still not all that moist. 54 is your dew point. That's going to come up, though, as we head through the next couple of days. 82 is our high today. Officially, Lambert picked up 1/100 of an inch of rain early this morning. Now, as we head through the overnight hours, 60s for most of us, where there's a little bit of clearing off to the east of St. Louis, or less cloud cover, if you will, upper 50s. Let's get you through tomorrow morning. We'll have showers developing, pushing from south to north. They'll be scattered across the area, so not everybody's going to get rain. West of St. Louis, the rain chances are higher, especially as you go back towards mid-Missouri and across the Ozarks. Into the afternoon and evening hours, a few showers, maybe a rumble of thunder pressing through, but again, it is scattered. More of this on Friday, more of this on Saturday. Eventually, this system that's out to our west will slide through the region as we head into Mother's Day. Now, we're still going to have that chance for some showers and thunderstorms on Mother's Day, but the majority of the weekend will feature dry time. It's not a continual rain scenario playing out, even though the chances that we see some rain between now and Sunday are on the higher side. Most of us will see some rain, most of us probably won't see enough rain now that the growing season's underway, especially with Saturday. Temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 80s. Wouldn't be surprised to hit 90 in some spots, all dependent on the amount of sunshine. Mother's Day, that's when we start a trend towards cooling back a bit. Next week, of course, we get into another work week, and it looks like dry weather, lower humidity, comfortable temperatures by next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. Frank, who's celebrating a birthday, is here with sports.
You're loving it.
Yeah, I've heard that enough today, okay? The Cardinals were trying for their first sweep. Does Jack Flaherty have to cool it just a little bit? And Chris Pronger has some interesting thoughts on Colton Parayko. Stick around.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
If somebody tells you when the losing streak was 8 that the Cardinals would win 3 in a row, including a series win in Chicago, would you take it? Darn right. Baby steps. But let's move on to Boston next. First, the finale in Wrigley. Now, there's no way in the world this team will get back in it without Nolan Arenado hitting. Here's an RBI triple in the first to give the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. Wilson Contreras in the third, base hit. Andrew Kisner will score. Let's make it 2-0 Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals kind of gave up on this guy, Patrick Wisdom. The Cubs believe in him, and here's why. That's his 11th homer of the season, 3-2 Cubs. Jordan Montgomery did not have it. Yan Gomes did have it, a 2-run shot, and the Cubs led it 5-2. Bill DeWitt is technically the owner of the Cardinals, but this week, Dansby Swanson owned the pitching staff. 6 extra base hits in 3 games. Cubs roll the night 10-4. Former Westminster student Joseph Wool in goal for Toronto tonight, and he was out of sight in this game 4 against the Panthers, making 24 saves. Mitch Marner will get the eventual game-winning goal in the third, and Toronto pulls a John Travolta and stays alive with a 2-1 win. They trail 3-1 in the series. One of the great blues of all time, Chris Pronger and his brother Sean, have entered the whiskey business. Today, they unveiled their Journey Canadian whiskey, which will be distributed by Grey Eagle, sold next week in stores all over town. And please drink with caution. Fittingly, it's 44% alcohol in honor of Chris's number. On the hockey angle, I asked Chris about how he feels when people try to compare Colton Parayko to him.
I was second overall in the draft. I don't think he was. So from a pedigree perspective, I think people need to look at that, and everybody's personality is different. He doesn't have the same personality. At no point has he ever played this the way I did. Sometimes you have to look at that and go, okay, then he's not going to be somebody else.
Translated, he will never be Chris Pronger. Corey Miller will be rocking and rolling with 5 on Your Sideline Friday night at 10:15, a conversation with Katie Wu on the present state of the Cardinals. And take a look at one of the best baseball teams in the area. This is a squad you got to see. They are 31-1. The name of the school is Father McGivney. Haven't heard of them? They're a Catholic high school in Glen Carbon that has been open for a decade. They've beaten the big schools like CBC and Edwardsville already this season, and they're hoping the success can help them continue to put their school on the map.
These last couple of years, we've heard a lot about where is that again? Oh, you guys are by Edwardsville. So I think that this season shows that we play with anyone, and we could play in any class if you put us into it.
If that avenue is baseball, that's fantastic. But we got a great school over there with great teachers and great administrators.
Finally tonight, a word about Jack Flaherty. I've always respected his ability and liked talking hoops with him. But he has to lose this attitude. Bob Gibson can have attitude. Chris Carpenter can have attitude. Jack hasn't done enough to have attitude. In his last 3 starts, he has an ERA of 12.75. He has not been a dominant pitcher since 2019. He has never pitched 200 innings in a season. But don't get me wrong, he's a good pitcher and could still be very good by the end of the season. But after the last 2 games he has pitched in, the story is the same. He lashes out at the media. You got to stop. Arrogance can be kind of cool when you're on top. It's not a good look when you're not. And this is not the New York media trying to get you. Reporters ask questions, and none of them have been in a threatening fashion. Jack, just cool it. People in St. Louis are pulling for you. It's just a little more difficult to do so when you act like this. And that will do it in sports.
All right, Frank, thanks. And we'll be right back. Right now, you can get concert tickets for just $25, all part of Live Nation's Concert Week. This includes shows at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, Enterprise Center, Stiefel Theater, and more. The $25 promotion on Live Nation's website runs through May 16th. It covers all ticket fees, but not taxes.
Are you ready for a taste of summer? Sauce Magazine's Food Truck Friday at Tower Grove Park returns this week. 22 local eateries on wheels will be lined up between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. If you want to skip the long lines, you can buy a one-time speed pass.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Please start your day with our team in the morning today in St. Louis, and have a great tomorrow.